What if Ace was not killed at Marin Ford? Let's imagine. What kind of storyline would have formed in the One Piece romance? Would Luffy still need another big fall? Or will he be inspired by all the other characters' downfalls? I have 3 theories that are very likely to happen if Ace is rescued. It's just that I can't escape the deaths of other characters. After all, the war at Marin Ford was a big event. It was impossible to let all the characters go home alive. Here's the first theory, which is definitely the most common possibility for you guys to understand. Ace was saved, but Shirohige's death was a pact. Akainu is known as the Black and White Admiral of the Navy. The world government and all its ranks are white and absolute justice. However, the pirates are the black spots, the criminals, the demons that must be burned down. For Akainu, there was no problem in temporarily cooperating with the devil. In fact, Akainu was the one who allowed Fujitora to abolish the Seven Warlords concept. This is why he could be working with Teach. Teach could have used Ace's capture to take control of Shirohige's territory, which he had been claiming since Shirohige's death in the canon story. This dark plan was made on purpose, to make Ace even more frantic. It's obvious that Teach, who bears the name D, doesn't want other D descendants to get One Piece. He certainly wanted to make the former commander of the 2nd Division of the Shirohige Pirates even worse and wanted to recognize his greatness, or die even more miserably later. At that time, he would make a deal with Akainu that contained the surrender of Ace to him and give Shirohige's head to Akainu. That way, both would gain glory. Teach would certainly become Yonko in place of Shirohige. On the other hand, Akainu will be recognized as the new hero of the Navy, and his appointment as Fleet Admiral is all but confirmed, without going through a battle with Aokiji. When this agreement does take place, Luffy, who comes as an anomaly figure in this war, will be able to snatch Ace from Teach's capture attempt. Of course, with the help of Ivankov, Jinbei, and Marco. When that happens, Shirohige will shout, as in the existing canon story, namely, "One Piece is real!" plus a stomp aimed at Luffy and Ace. You are Roger's son, and you who carry on Roger's words, get it, and tell the whole world. Ace would certainly be very sad, as Shirohige, whom he considered as a parent, died at the hands of Akainu, by the trap of his former crew. But this is where a motivation to train to become stronger is rekindled by Ace and Luffy. Luffy will promise to become stronger so that Ace will not lose his precious person for the 2nd time. Because here both still believe that Sabo is dead. On the other hand, Ace promises to be stronger so as not to lose a precious person again. They would hide on Amazon Lily Island again. At that time, Rayleigh would be happy to train the 2 future teenagers. For him, meeting Ace, who was Roger's son, was definitely an honor. Moreover, training Luffy, who had the same goal as Roger. There will be a big reveal here, such as who Portgas Ace's mother really is, which is still a mystery in the course of One Piece's story. Ace will join Luffy's crew because Shirohige's crew decided to disband and carry out separate missions for their own safety after Shirohige's death. That's just the first theory, my friends. I still have a second theory that is equally interesting and moving. This theory makes Monkey D. Garp the victim. Garp's intentions of protecting his 2 grandsons are understandable. However, in the construction of the Marin Ford war story, Garp always seemed to be on edge. It started with his memory of Gold D. Roger entrusting Ace to him. As someone who always kept his word, Ace's death would be very painful for him. However, he was also a Navy hero, who must not set a bad example to his subordinates. If he protects Ace, he would certainly start to be seen as a traitor to justice. More than that, his followers would begin to look down on him. Just imagine if all the Corps under Garp lost faith in him. What kind of character collapse would happen? However, in the chaos at the end of the battle, Garp was able to enter the arena with 2 different intentions. His first purpose is to protect Luffy and Ace. However, his second mission is to make his subordinates realize that justice should not be followed by lust for killing. If this theory holds true, Garp will take the best position when Akainu tries to attack Luffy and Ace with long-range attacks. The chaos of the battlefield would allow him to hide among the crowd. He would be witnessed by the Navy soldiers as a challenger to Luffy and Ace. Imagine when Akainu's meteor attack occurs, he can give a love kick that is equipped with Busoshoku no Haki. Luffy and Ace would be blown very far away, and at that time, Garp would intentionally take the Akainu meteor attack. When that happened, Shanks and the red-haired pirates had already arrived and witnessed the event. He would command the pirates to stop fighting. At that moment, Shirohige would approach Garp and ignore his fight with Teach. He might have survived because Teach hadn't dared to fight with Shanks. However, his condition would no longer allow him to adventure. With an order, Sengoku would stop the war. Instead of focusing on Ace, the world would center on the death of Monkey D. Garp. A Navy hero known throughout the world died at the hands of the irresponsible Akainu. When that happened, Akainu would leave the Navy. He will become one of the dark movements that kill pirates outside the law. He will appear as a commander in One Piece movie Z. Meanwhile, Aokiji was sure to become the new fleet admiral. He would lead the grief ceremony among the Navy, because he was the best student of Garp. When the funeral is held, Luffy will make a mess and insist on joining his grandfather's funeral. At the same time, Aokiji will deliberately let Luffy escape, just like he did when he helped Robin in the Ohara mess. Luffy will train to become stronger so that he no longer needs protection of people greater than him. At that time, Ace and Marco would lead the Shirohige pirates as the future of Yonko Shirohige. Both have a main mission, hunting Teach and Akainu. The third theory involves Shanks as Luffy and Ace's dive. This theory will be very moving and make you want it more than the other theories. Imagine if Shanks could come on time. The war would end quickly. However, it would be very boring if the battle was easily won by the pirate camp because Shanks came to help. To make this even more dramatic, Shanks came alone to the Marine Ford, while his crew was still trying to escape Kaido. As we saw in the canon story, the arrival of the red-haired pirates' crew scared the admirals, and the 7 warlords felt this was not part of the agreement. They felt it was impossible to defeat 2 Yonko armies at once. Moreover, Shanks was known as one of the strongest and smartest Yonko. However, if Shanks came alone, the fear would be muffled. Instead, it's like an opportunity to defeat Shanks. Warlords like Doflamingo or Gecko Moria might think of overthrowing Shanks' rule as Yonko. With Shanks' Haoshoku no Haki-coated sword, he would stop Akainu's blows before they could hurt Ace or Luffy. Meanwhile, Marco and his already wounded friends will be smiling happily because of that. Shanks' arrival is a breeze of peace for them. More than that, Shanks' relationship with Luffy and Ace will be revealed, which will make the world even more astonished. At that time, Shanks will say to Luffy, "You're a great pirate now. Supernova, burn the flag of the world government." Meanwhile, Luffy would smile and say, "Shanks, I'll definitely beat you after this war." Shanks would reply and say, "We'd better get out of here alive." The battle reached its peak with the participation of Sengoku Buddha and Garp to overcome the Navy's fear of Shanks' arrival. The war soon became one-sided again, as Sengoku and Garp focused on Shirohige's men, and Akainu would join forces with Aokiji. The two of them are not compatible. However, both of them have the desire to defeat Shanks for a long time. 2 disasters such as an avalanche and a volcanic eruption that come together can occur in this merger of forces. However, Shanks is still able to keep up with both. Until, at its peak, Kizaru will create a prison of light that limits the 2 battle locations. The first location is to make Sengoku and Garp focus more on Shirohige's army, with the help of several warlords, such as Gecko Moria, Kuma, Mihawk, Teach, and Doflamingo in it. Meanwhile, the second region contains Shanks' battle with Akainu and Aokiji. Some Vice Admirals are also here. The Vice Admirals will face Jinbei, Ivankov, and Buggy the Clown. Buggy will be involved here because after all, he has his own ideological grudge with Shanks, so he's also very close to Shanks. In addition, there's also Boa Hancock, who's still pretending to help the Navy, even though she's very worried about Luffy. At the height of this chaos, Shirohige and his army are defeated. And just like the canon story, Teach will steal Shirohige's power. Luffy and Ace saw the chaos and were about to run to help them, but Shirohige shouted, "Akagami, I'll leave them to you," while coughing and shouting again, "One Piece is real! Go after those brats!" The shout stopped the battle momentarily and made everyone unaware that Shanks' crew had also arrived. To stop the resistance, Sengoku launched an ultimate attack that made the battle area experience an explosion of golden light. Shanks took advantage of that to bring Luffy and Ace to his ship. At the same time, Ivankov escaped and Jinbei also jumped onto Shanks' ship. They no longer knew what the fate of Shirohige's crew would be. Instead of Luffy going down, it was Ace who was going down at that time. The rest of the story is similar to the first theory, with Rayleigh's arrival, heavy training on one of Amazon Lily's hidden islands, and the revelation of Porca's secret. Well, the more interesting events will occur in the future arc in One Piece. First, Sabo will meet Ace and Luffy in Dressrosa, and that's when the memories of the 3 of them will really open up. Then Ace's promised meeting with Tama and Yamato in Wano Kuni will be realized along with Luffy's arrival. However, Ace does not join Luffy's crew. He still believes there are survivors of Shirohige's crew, and in every break of the arc he looks for the remaining members of his crew to continue Shirohige's dream. These are the 3 theories that are certainly no less moving than the canon story. When this happens, as with other One Piece stories, Luffy will become strong by sharing Ace's sadness and downfall. If any of the three stories are true, just imagine we will see many combinations of ultimate moves between Luffy and Ace, not to mention Sabo, who is also still alive. The three of them would be the deadliest trio that the world government fears the most. If you want to see some other cool videos, you can check out this video. Click on it to see. Go ahead, click it.